Hello, in this video I'm going to be philosophizing and discussing philosophy and its embodied states, as well as characteristics and the properties of philosophizing, how philosophizing through our everyday experiences and our direct awareness in every day, particularly as we enact it, can benefit our lives and optimize our well-being throughout various situations and circumstances, and particularly conditions that we might have or find ourselves uh, in, and in relation to our existence, and in particularly regulating negativity as well as optimizing positivity throughout our daily experiences or our moment to moment experiences pertaining to the here and now, and the syntheses of existence. Syntheses regarding the nature of the mind, as well as our own volitions and conducts of the self, and the conductivities of the mind, in which we typically volitionally will, or we guide in particular our self directions, and in which we are responsible for, in terms of regulating and understanding our own emotions and developing a deeper insight into ourselves through various forms of embodying that are deeply connected to our emotions and a sense of meaningfulness, but also our intents, and also where we direct our meanings in relation to our perceptions, our direct perceptions, and contact with our surroundings. And this allows us to form various apparatuses that we can rely on, and which also deepen our knowledge and understanding, as well as the meaning that's deep and intrinsic within our being and the nature of our existence through this synthesis of mind that is inherently thoughtful, right? Because we are minds. We are embodying minds, but we're more than that. We have a self, right? We have this sense of what it's like to have a subjective experience and to relate the contents of our consciousness to our surroundings and form these objective subjective relationships that allow us to develop a deeper understanding and insight and self-knowing regarding what is true, what is psychologically true, what is realistically true, and how these truths in particularly can impact and influence our lives, and how we can enrich our repertoires of wellness and our daily conducts, and also strengthen our minds in various ways and our understandings of the world through these insights that we get through psychological truth. Also, what's true, and a sense of what's realistic, and these realisms of meaning that have these subjective objective relationships that characterize psychological processes and everything that we do, pretty much all the workings of the mind and its various forms of embodying, that is conducive to optimizing well-being, but also regulating ill well-being and the negativity that's associated with ill well-being. And as we philosophize, we develop deeper insight into these truths, these realistic and psychological truths, through engaging the mind in meaningful ways, and meaningful ways that are parallel and linked and associated, ironically, paradoxically, to this thoughtfulness, in which there is not just meaning, but truth and information in that substance, right? That substance of existence that is founded on this synthesis and nature of being, and in our relation to our surroundings, that is inherent and innate to our existence, in which we often contemplate particular universals or universalizing existential concerns and problems that pop up throughout our daily lives, or throughout even the lifespan and the continuity of our existence pertaining to that continuity, the extension of our life, we and the extension of goods, and what's good, and what we enjoy and what we find meaningful, as well as virtue and character. These are things that we want to continue in the future, and we want to do so because it's inherently meaningful. But Problems arise when we perceive meaninglessness, and there seems to be this sense of constraints that's bound to an endless freedom, right? It's not so much that things are inherently meaningless, it's more like things are inherently meaningful and we don't just yet know what to do. And it's more about purposing these meanings internally within us and finding our strengths and our strengthening and developing a deeper sense of masterfulness through often philosophizing or psychologizing, or even just engaging in what's meaningful to us and developing a deeper sense of thoughtfulness and deepening our thoughtfulness to be able to deepen self-knowledge and knowledge of the world that allows us to develop a deeper sense and a greater sense and an enriching sense of masterfulness that allows us to optimize our lives. And this is primarily done through this philosophization process that is about getting to the nitty-gritty of what's not just meaningful, but true and psychologically true, and being able to develop an understanding of realisms in everyday life that give our lives more meaning and purpose and a deeper sense of meaningfulness that allows us to live more optimally. So that's all I wanted to say for this video. I hope you enjoy. Bye.